Hey Inspire Youth, Zan here, just here with a mini message for you guys on a Friday night, because we just want to encourage you guys, we want to inspire you guys and get you plugged into the Word of God, because even though we're isolated at home, doesn't mean we can't connect with the Word of God and connect with each other. So let's keep walking in faith, let's keep journeying together, and I'm just here to bring you a message today. And so we're definitely going to talk about the kind of times of uncertainty that we're in, the stress, the anxiety bombarding us from every direction. And so the biggest statement I kind of want to say today is that we need to find the certain in the uncertainty. And so as we try to all navigate these times, it's not just some of you, even the pastors are trying to navigate this. This is something none of us experience. This is unknown territory for all of us. So it's definitely a difficult time for all of us, and we're all trying to figure it out. No one knows the answer, no one knows the solution, but God has us in His hands. And so in this time of unknown territory and this uncertainty, we need to find the certain. And so we need to build some firm foundations that we can stand on, so we can be certain in something in this time of not knowing what to do or where we're heading or what direction we're going. We need to have some solid, firm foundations that we can be confident in, that we can believe in, and that we can know that we'll get through this because of it. And so point number one, if you're writing notes on your Apple, your Android, your laptop, your computer, or your notebook, point number one is, who is God to you? You know, I've heard questions like, did God send this virus? How could God let this happen? And so many questions like that, which are all valid questions. I'm not going to answer them because it's not my place to answer them. But what I do know is the character of God. And so who is God? You know, He is a shepherd, Psalm 23:1. He is our rock, Deuteronomy 32:4. He is light, John 8:12. He is a father, Matthew 6:9. He is the way, truth, life, John 14:6. He is a friend, Exodus 33:1. You know, he's a shepherd. He's guiding us through the season. He's taking us through. Now, I personally believe that, God didn't send this virus, but He makes things for good. He always makes things of good. And so that's one of my foundations, that I know that God can always turn things for good. And so I'm really believing for that, and that He's going to guide us through this, and that He could really teach us something during this time of isolation, and really strengthen us for the season to come when we exit this isolation. And so point number two is God's character in your head, the same as the God in your heart. What I mean by that is that we have all this head knowledge. It's easier to say that, God is a friend, but some of us at home, or some of you might be feeling, you know what? I know that God is a friend, but I don't feel so close to Him. I feel like I don't know Him. I feel like I don't know how to get to that point. And that's okay. That's all good. And we're praying for you through that. But do you guys ever get that gut feeling, or something's off, or something's going to go right, and you're just like, I know it in my gut, I know it in my heart that's going to happen. I can't explain why, but I know it in my heart, I know it in my gut. What I want to challenge us with is that with all this head knowledge, God is my friend, God is our rock, God is a shepherd. Even if we don't feel like that way, we've got to actually strive to actually align our head knowledge with our heart, with our gut. That feeling that we know it's going to be okay. We know that God is our shepherd, and really align that with the, I can't explain it, but I know we're going to get through this. So I really want to challenge us to align our head knowledge with our heart, and so that God's character would be the same in our heart as it is in our head. Because it's very easy to have this head knowledge and saying, yep, God is our rock, but then not really feel it down here. And then the third and final point is, what is your character? Now I want to challenge you in, what is your response to this crisis? When this crisis hits you, what's it going to bring out of you? I want to read a verse from Matthew 14:22-31. It's about when Jesus walks on water. And it says, immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of Him to the other side, while He dismissed the crowd. After He had dismissed them, He went up on a mountainside by Himself to pray. Later that night, He was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. And when the disciples saw Him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said. and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and, beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me!" Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" You know, this story really kind of has been hitting me all week, and just the last couple of weeks, to be honest, is that I feel like we're all Peter. You know, we have the faith to, walk out on water, but I want to challenge us. Let's be people that walk towards Jesus, that continue to do that and fix our eyes on Jesus. And no matter the noise of the world and all the anxious thoughts that are bombarding us, don't let fear or anxiety paralyze you. Keep walking towards Jesus. Keep your eyes on Jesus. And let's keep going. And we'll get through this together. Stay connected. Stay plugged in. We love you guys.